So, Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady are set to fight off this Saturday at UFC Fight Night, and it's shaping up to be an intriguing matchup to say the least. Sean Brady is coming off what many consider the best performance of his career since he dominated Kelvin Gastelum in his last fight. Meanwhile, in Gilbert Burns' last fight, he faced a rising star in JDM, where he was actually winning the fight until he got finished in the third round. Now, these two fighters are on a collision course this Saturday, and personally, I cannot wait. And I've been noticing a lot of people are leaning towards Sean Brady in this matchup, mainly due to Gilbert Burns' age, since he's around the age of 38 now, and the fact that he took some heavy damage from that knee in his last fight against JDM. However, I personally don't think these factors will diminish his fighting spirit, and to be honest, I personally believe we're going to see a highly competitive bout, likely lasting 3 to 4 rounds. Now, what I really like about Burns is his unbreakable fighting spirit and his impressive UFC resume. He never shies away from a challenge, facing off against the top guys like Bilal, JDM, and Hamzat. For this fight, it feels like he's all in. This might be his last big push too for a title shot, and I'm confident he's gonna fully prepare to go all out in this fight. Now, when it comes to both their styles, Gilbert Burns is a beast because he's got that killer mix of skills. His Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is top notch. Surprisingly, he barely ever uses it in MMA though. The dude has some heavy hands to his games. He's so dangerous in the striking too. He's super strong and explosive, which helps him get takedowns and get back on his feet. Plus, he's tough as nails and can take a punch, going the distance in tough fights, and with all his experience, he knows how to handle different opponents and different styles. Sean Brady, on the other hand, is an interesting case. A lot of people think he's overrated, calling him a one-trick pony. Now, to be fair, we haven't seen anything too spectacular from him since he joined the UFC. He's got great wrestling, which is what people focus on when they say he's one-dimensional. His boxing is decent at best, and aside from the fight with Bilal, where he had some success, he hasn't really shown anything too special on the feet. But even with all that being said, Sean Brady is a standout fighter because of his grappling and his wrestling skills. He's relentless with his takedowns and has a strong top game, making it extremely difficult for opponents to escape once he's on top. His Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is also high level, allowing him to control and submit his opponents effectively. While his striking is not that good, his grappling is really what sets him apart in the welterweight division. Now, looking at the betting odds, Sean Brady is the favorite at around -180, while Gilbert Burns is the underdog at a +143. I can see why people think Brady could win, but honestly, I'm leaning towards Burns in this fight. There are a few reasons for that, which I'll get into. But mainly, I think Burns is a tough matchup for Brady. It's not that Brady can't win, but it's gonna be a tough fight for him, and I haven't been overly impressed with his performance or his resume so far. And look, we've given Bilal Muhammad a lot of criticism, but I've always said that he's been beating legit guys in the division like Sean Brady, Gilbert Burns, Wonderboy, and Vicente Luque. Now, on the other hand, when you look at Sean Brady's resume, the only big names that he's beaten is Michael Chiesa and Kelvin Gastelum. And honestly, those guys aren't that impressive. I mean, one guy is a freaking gatekeeper, and the other guy is a former shell of himself. And that's the thing, people like to hype up Sean Brady's win over Kelvin Gastelum, but I was the only guy saying, well, of course that was gonna happen. Kelvin is like a dice roll. You never know what you're gonna get with him. I mean, this is the same guy who got outgrappled by Chris Weidman, Jack Hermanson, and even lost to Neil Magny, bro. Another issue I have with Sean Brady is that he's just not active enough. It feels like this guy fights once a year, if that. Come on, Sean. I know the welterweight division is tough, but this is why it doesn't get enough attention. You guys need to start moving, stay active, and fight more often. And to me, it's pretty frustrating that no one is stepping up and taking fights like Gilbert Burns. It's like everyone's just sitting around and they want to keep their goddamn spot. Anyways, now when it comes to the matchup, I don't see Brady out-grappling Gilbert Burns. I don't know where this narrative is coming from, but some folks think that Brady is just going to go in there and out-wrestle Burns, which blows my mind because even Hamzat, with his incredible wrestling and his size advantage, had a tough time keeping Burns down. People seem to forget just how strong and explosive Burns is at getting back on his feet. Honestly, I think the grappling will just cancel out. just like what we saw against Bilal versus Brady. I expect them to stand and bang, and Burns is probably gonna outstrike him. I mean, Bilal handed Brady a standing TKO, and Michael Chiesa was outstriking Brady on the feet. Let that sink in for a bit, yeah? Also, Sean doesn't look like he hits hard at all. That dude has freaking pillow hands, man. I mean, go back to the Bilal fight. Brady had some moments of success, especially in the first round with his pressure and grappling, but he did not significantly hurt or wobble Bilal at all. And we've got some people out there that like to say Burns isn't a great striker, but didn't he just go to war with Jack Della Maddalena, who's an amazing boxer? Burns respected JDM's hands in that fight, but I doubt he's going to show the same respect to Brady's striking. And if Burns does get taken down, I still think he's going to get back up and outstrike Brady, because let's be real, Brady's striking isn't all that. And sure, you could point out that Burns is 38 years old and he hurt his shoulder with that fight with Bilal, but let's remember that he still went the full 5 rounds with an injury, like an absolute beast. Now, could Sean Brady win? Of course, at the end of the day, this is MMA, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I can actually see him winning the first round, but as soon as the fight keeps going, I think Burns' cardio and experience will shine through. Now, the only way I see Burns losing is if his age catches up with him. We've seen it before, like with Robbie Lawler, who had an incredible takedown defense in his prime, but struggled as he got older. If Burns' defense starts slipping, Brady could outgrapple him and maybe even get the finish. But honestly, I haven't seen anything special from Brady that makes me think that he's going to be the next big thing, you know? But hey, who knows? Maybe Brady will surprise us this Saturday. I mean, I didn't think Bilal would be a top contender, and look how that turned out. If I had to guess, I'd say the first round will be close, with Brady possibly edging it out. But by the second or third round, I can see Brady starting to slow down and Burns will capitalize. Burns may not have the best cardio, but he's explosive and he's smart with his shots. I wouldn't be surprised if he drops Brady and TKOs him, especially since Burns rarely goes for submissions nowadays. And let's be real, his submission game in MMA is a bit overrated. So let's see what happens. I'm betting on Burns to pull it off, probably with a third round finish. So let's see how good this video ages, man. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I feel pretty confident in this pick. I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on Burns, but who knows, it's freaking MMA at the end of the day. I mean, we have freaking Bilal as champion, and the same thing could be said about Dricus. So alright guys, that's pretty much it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it though. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll catch you guys on my next one.